You know that feeling, right? You're completely stuck in a sea of red taillights, just inching forward. And you think to yourself, well, this is just modern life. It feels like a force of nature, something we just have to put up with. But what if I told you that gridlock isn't an accident? Yeah, this pretty much sums it up for most of us. We assume traffic just happens. It's a glitch in the system, totally random, like bad weather. But that assumption, that very idea, is what allows a completely different story to unfold, hidden right in plain sight. And this is the question that changes everything. What if that frustration you feel sitting in your car isn't a bug? What if it's actually the key feature of a very profitable system? Let's, follow the money here. So let's just reframe our whole daily commute. Is this nightmare gridlock a failure of public planning? Or if we look at it from another angle, is it actually a massive private sector success story? That's right. In a surprising number of cities, our public roads are actually managed by for-profit companies. Think of them as a middleman with a direct financial stake in how traffic flows. And believe me, their main goal isn't always about getting you home faster. So to really get how we got into this situation, we've got to hop in the time machine and rewind the clock a bit. This didn't happen overnight. Its roots go back decades. Before the 1980s, the whole model was, pretty simple. We all paid our taxes, and the government built and maintained the roads for everyone. But then a huge policy shift started to happen. The big argument was that private companies would be more efficient, and that handing off the cost and management of our roads was a smart move for governments. And this is how these for-profit companies got a great nickname: mercenaries for the public sector. I mean, think about it. They're hired to manage a public good, but they operate with a totally private, profit-first mission. And right there, you have a huge fundamental conflict of interest. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating, how this business model actually works. And honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to think about something like a theme park. Okay, so what the public wants is simple. We want traffic to move smoothly and fairly for everybody. But the private company managing the road, they've got a totally different goal. They're trying to sell a product, the premium express lane, what some people call Lexus Lanes. Now ask yourself, if the free lanes are moving perfectly, who on earth is going to pay for the premium one? Nobody. Their product becomes worthless. So, and this is the absolute key, the business model needs congestion in the regular lanes. It actually relies on your frustration. That slow, soul-crushing traffic jam isn't the problem they're trying to fix, it's the free advertising for their real product, which is that fast lane flying by right next to you. They literally have to create the pain to sell you the cure. And just when you think you've got it figured out, the story takes an even darker turn. It's not just about making slow lanes to sell fast ones. No, this system goes a step further to protect its profits. Just let that sink in for a second. Buried deep in the fine print of some of these privatization contracts are clauses that can financially punish the government for making public transportation too good. If a city improves its bus service or even expands the free lanes, the company running the toll road can actually claim it's a threat to their business. And this quote just brilliantly lays out the twisted logic. It creates a system where making things better for the public becomes a business liability. A healthy, efficient public transit system means fewer customers for the toll lanes. We've literally built a system that is financially incentivized to keep us stuck. So once you see all these incentives lined up, you start to realize something pretty profound. You're not looking at a broken system at all. From a certain point of view, it's a perfectly designed one. This brings us right to a classic economic idea, the monopoly. A monopoly is what happens when you, the consumer, have no real alternative, no other choice. And that is exactly the situation that drivers are in. I mean, and think about it. You are a completely captive audience. It's not like there are 5 different highways all going to your office, and you can pick the one with the best service or the lowest price. You take the road you have to take. And that gives the company managing it an enormous amount of power. So the next time you find yourself stuck in a jam, just remember this. The system isn't failing, not at all. From the perspective of generating revenue from toll lanes, it is a wild runaway success. It's a perfectly designed machine to turn your lost time into someone else's profit. Okay, so understanding the problem is definitely the first step. But the big question, the one we all have, is what can we actually do about it? Well, the path forward really starts with transparency. We have to demand to see what's actually in these contracts. It means we have to refuse to sign agreements that literally punish progress for the public. And maybe most importantly, it means we need to have a serious national conversation about whether our most essential infrastructure should be run for private profit at all. And that leaves us with this final, fundamental question. What is the real purpose of our highway system? Is it to generate revenue for a handful of companies, or is it to serve the public by getting us where we need to go safely and efficiently? The answer we choose is going to define our commutes for decades to come.